I have a big burden, as I know many of you do, for the nation in this hour. And it is so easy to get caught up in the negativity, to get caught up in the upset, but we really, really, really need to know that our expectation has to be on God. It's not on any man, it's not on any woman, it's not on any party. It is on the Lord. If we're gonna see righteousness restored, our hope is in Him, and we have to do things His way. His character informs our expectation. Our expectation of God is not based on what I think He's capable of. It has to be based on what He has proven He is, who He is, what He does, what He's like. If He's done it before, He can do it again. So my expectation has to come into alignment with what I can find in the Word, what I know to be true. I have, and I know many of you have, this burning on the inside that says this nation has a prophetic destiny that has been declared and declared and declared and declared. So no matter what we see on the outside, the word of the Lord stands sure. And so we're never past the point of return. We're never past the point of salvation. We're never past the point of a revival across this land. And I am determined to see one. It's not hinged on the election, though. And when we put our expectation in who wins or who doesn't win or who's ahead in the polls, our expectation is wrong. Our expectation is of the Lord and of Him only. And when we lean into Him, we find His answers. Shall I bring it to the time of birth and not bring the delivery? In other words, suddenly is going to look like it happens, but there was a pregnancy preparing. There was a time of expectation and development and growth and turning. There was something that was happening for 9 months before the day of birth. So you might say, suddenly I have a baby. I didn't have one yesterday, I had one today. But it took 9 months to get there. God's saying, as a nation, can a nation be born in a day? Yes, but it takes a long time of delivery. And I will bring it to the point. I will bring a nation to the point where it's ready to give birth to something it can sustain. This nation has to be turned in a way that can only be done by God, but it will be sustained by a church who is hot and on fire for the Lord. What good would it be to bring forth, to birth a move of God that cannot be sustained by God's kids? If we're not ready, if we're not prepared, if we're not expecting, there is a turning point that could come, and it leaves the spiritual baby on the ditch to die. It's this thing where God could release a move of His Spirit that is just aborted. I'm telling you, God is preparing us for a suddenly. I believe God is calling a Canadian church to rise up, to get aggressive, to get hungry, to get desperate for Him, to get sick of the mundane and the usual, and sick of waiting for something to happen from somebody else's hand. A church who will get on her face before God and say, we need you and you alone. Our hope is in you. Our expectation is in you. I am looking for you. God, what are you doing in this hour? Have we expected from God accurately to His nature, to His track record? We know in the book of Acts, when the Spirit of God fell, when the Holy Spirit came upon them, thousands were added daily. Why would that change? That is the nature of God. And we can say, well, it's because it was such a corrupt time. It was their first experience with Christianity. It was their first experience with Jesus. We are considered a post-Christian nation. We're in about the same boat. It is opportune time for God to do something mighty and wonderful.